Atlanta News First Plus starts now.
Well, hi, everybody. Happy Friday. Hope you've had a great week. We're headed into a long Memorial Day weekend. We're going to talk about the weather coming up in just a second because I know many of you have plans for the weekend, and those plans may need to change a little bit depending on if you're going to be outside. So we'll discuss more about that coming up in just a few minutes. And just a reminder, too, as we talk about Memorial Day, just remember it's not just about the hot dogs and the going out on the lake and that kind of thing. It really is about recognizing and remembering those who sacrificed everything so that we ourselves could be free. So just, my little 2 cents for whatever it's worth. We have breaking news this morning. A lot of you, of course, have been following the story of the Dalton teenager who was pulled over for a traffic stop up in Dalton about 3 or so weeks ago, and she was detained. As it turns out, she's in this country illegally. It was an emotional reunion for her. Her name is Ximena Arias-Cristobal, and she finally made it home last night after being held at a South Georgia immigration detention center following that traffic stop. Police did eventually realize that traffic stop was, in fact, a mistake. However, she was detained because she is undocumented. Police say Arias-Cristobal was arrested on May 5th. Atlanta News First Sarah Hammond reports from the family's home in Dalton with that emotional reunion when she finally saw her family for the first time in several weeks.
It was an emotional reunion overnight. We had crews there as Ximena pulled into the driveway and was reunited with her friends and family for the first time since she was granted bond on Wednesday. That reunion filled with hugs and tears after what the 19-year-old describes as an experience she would not wish on her worst enemy. Dalton police said an officer pulled over the wrong car during a May 5th traffic stop and placed Ximena under arrest. Those charges were eventually dropped, but that arrest led to the discovery that she is undocumented. She was taken to the Stewart Detention Center in Lumpkin, where she's been ever since. Her father was also there after he was arrested during a separate traffic stop. She says they were not allowed to speak to each other inside of the facility, an experience she says that changed her life.
It's the conditions and the unknown. It's not knowing what's going to happen to me, knowing that I could be sent back to a country that I don't know, having to be torn apart from my family. It's also the conditions. You don't get much privacy. You get screamed at for every little thing. The food is horrible. They don't pay attention to you. You get sick and they don't care.
Now, she and her father both still face possible deportation back to Mexico. She says her first step now that she's home is to work on getting her visa so she can stay in the country where she's lived since she was 4 years old. She also says she's so grateful for all of the support that she's received since that initial arrest. In Dalton, Sarah Hammond for Atlanta News First.
It's Friday. We've been talking about it. It's Braves on Gray. Not only is it Gray, but it is a homecoming for Atlanta fans. This is a huge deal because Ronald Acuna Jr. Is my mic on? Okay, mic is on. Ronald Acuna Jr. is officially back in the lineup for the game tonight. We've got Blake Devine out at Truist Park today. And this return really marks the first time in a year since Ronald Acuna Jr. tore his ACL that he is making a comeback. A lot of fans and the team, of course, very excited about that. Here is Blake's report.
Ronald Acuna Jr. is back for the Braves, and if there's anyone who can re-energize their lineup, it's him. The 27-year-old slugger has been rehabbing and recovering from a left tear in his ACL, and he has been doing some very impressive work during his minor league stints with the Gwinnett County Stripers, batting .417, with a home run. The four-time All-Star has been a major part of the Braves' success in recent years. Back in 2023, Acuna was the NL MVP, hitting 41 home runs and stealing 73 bases in a single season. Braves fans here in the Battery believe that he could be the catalyst this team needs to get back on track.
I'm very excited. I've been at the ballpark when he's hit a home run. He just brings some excitement to the game that the Braves vastly need right now. I mean, man, we need him bad.
Acuna's return comes at a critical time as the Braves are a game below 500, hoping his bat can jumpstart the team. Reporting from Truist Park, Blake Devine, Atlanta News First.
So really exciting that he's going to be back on the diamond, in the diamond, or at the diamond, I should say, for that game tonight. I don't know. My Braves and my sports lingo isn't the greatest, so just bear with me. All I know is that he's going to be back. It's going to be great for us. We hope that he's going to be hot as he has been with the Stripers. And the other thing that you need to know is that you can catch that game tonight, first pitch 7:15 on Peachtree TV. Our coverage begins at 6:30, live from the Chop with Bailey Burmaster. So that'll be some good stuff. It is, of course, Memorial Day weekend, and I know a lot of you have plans, and AAA says there are going to be a lot of you who are going to be traveling in record-breaking numbers. AAA says more than 45 million people will travel a minimum of 50 miles from home over this holiday period, which began yesterday. It goes into Monday, and that is nearly 1.5 million more people who are going to be traveling than did last year. So good for you, for those of you that are going to be out and about traveling. I can tell you that I'll be working. I'm going to be working Sunday too, but that's okay. We love you. Okay. Sitcom star Terry J. Vaughn is starring in a new production. It's called She the People. And ahead of that, she sits down with Rick Fulbaum to talk about creating the show and also her legacy as a sitcom actress. It was a great interview, and we want you to see it.
I think I can make a difference.
You just be a good girl, all right?
And I really don't think that he thinks I'm qualified.
Girl, do you know where you are? Have you looked at the power that you have here?
Sitcom icon Terry J. Vaughn is coming into your home once again, this time with a new show that she created. She plays Lieutenant Governor Antoinette Dunkerson in Tyler Perry's new Netflix series, She the People. And we are so glad to have Terry J. Vaughn here in the studio again today. Congratulations on the new show and welcome.
Thank you so much, Rick. Thank you.
It's so great to talk to you, and I love the fact that this is not just a show that you star in, but as we said, this is a show that you created.
Yeah.
How did you come up with the idea for it?
Well, I was inspired by a friend of mine, London Breed.
Yes.
She became the first black female mayor of San Francisco, which you know that is my home. And both of us grew up in San Francisco. We both grew up in communities that were underserved. So she had very humble beginnings, and just watching her make that journey from her childhood and just being brilliant and working her way up through school and becoming the mayor of our city, which is one of the richest cities in our nation.
Yeah.
It was so much of an uproar when she became the mayor, and she got so much pushback, and just watching all of that was just very interesting to me. And I just thought that it would be a great, I was like, this would be an amazing story. We've had Veep before, and I was like, it would be great to have that kind of story, but from a different perspective.
So you play the Lieutenant Governor of the state of Mississippi.
Yes.
And obviously this is, we know all about your comedic chops. And this is a funny show. Of course, we know you from the Steve Harvey Show. But there also seems to be some serious themes that you're dealing with here as well. You're talking about racism and sexism. Talk to us about that. What were the main messages that you wanted to get out in this work?
Well, I just wanted to tell a real, authentic, true story. Like, this is the world we live in, and this is how I have to walk through it as a Black woman, all the things that I have to deal with. And, you know, being a mother, she's a mother of 2 teenage kids. She's co-parenting with her ex-husband. She's very close to her family that is very colorful and wild, but she still, you know, has a commitment and a love to that community. But she also has to balance being the lieutenant governor for a whole state that is much different than, you know, her family life. And so I just thought it was very interesting to be able to attack all these issues that are real life issues that we have to deal with, but giving it to you in a very digestible way by making you laugh while you see it.
You think it's easier for people to take all of that in and to sort of see what you're trying to do if they're also being allowed to laugh along the way?
Absolutely. It's like we have to laugh at we have to laugh at the things that make us sad, that make us want to fight, that make us, or we're walking around angry, sad, depressed all the time. And I don't want that.
Yeah.
I want to be able to put joy out into the world. I want to be able to address the things that we have to deal with and face on a daily basis. But I also want to be full of joy. I can't not just lean into the heaviness of what we have to deal with. I'm going to find some laughter in it too.
You really have to bring some of yourself as an actress to every role. Find a way in, right?
Yes, you find that common ground and you lean into it. And you know, we're artists, so we can imagine some things and we can fake some things, but when you can pull from your real life and really deliver some of who you are, I think that's what's long-lasting.
Well, we are so glad you're here. Terry J. Vaughn, thank you so much, and congratulations on the new show. The first half of season 1 of Tyler Perry's She the People is streaming right now, so check it out. And the second half is available starting August 14th over the summer. So we'll get you hooked, and then we'll give you more episodes later on in the summer. I love it.
Yes, and you will be hooked.
Thank you, Terry. So nice to meet you.
Thank you. You too, Rick.
Atlanta News First Plus starts now with First Alert Weather.
I am First Alert meteorologist Courtney Jacobazzi. The National Hurricane Center and NOAA came out with their official forecast yesterday. Just in case you missed it, I wanted to go over it again, and then we'll, of course, get into your Memorial Day weekend forecast that does unfortunately look unsettled. Not a washout, but unsettled. So we are unfortunately looking ahead to another slightly above average season, forecasting 13 to 19 named storms, 14 being the average. So it is possible that we end up below average, but more than likely above. The number of hurricanes, which are classified as storms that have winds at their core of 74 miles per hour or greater, that would be a category 1, 6 to 10, the average 7. And then major hurricanes, which is category 3 and above, 3 to 5, we are expecting 3 to 5 storms, and the average is 3. So again, looking ahead to a hyperactive season, and there are a handful of factors that went into that decision making. One of them being warmer ocean temperatures. We are still looking at above average ocean temperatures. A weaker wind shear is expected. So essentially wind shear tears storms apart. It doesn't allow them to really organize well, but with the lack of that, that will allow storms to continue to grow and organize and grow stronger. So without the presence of that wind shear, that allows storms to develop. And then we also will have a hyperactive West African monsoon. And I know when you think monsoon, you think rain. And in a way, yes, but what a monsoon technically is, meteorologically, is a shift in wind. And so what's going to happen is the wind is going to come from coming out of the north to more so a southwesterly wind off the coast of Africa, the west coast. And that's going to allow moisture from the Atlantic to kind of surge in along the West African coast, and that will provide that moisture for those tropical waves to come off of Africa, which is a place where we do get a lot of the tropical systems that move across the Atlantic. Most of them originate from the coast of Africa. So that hyperactive West African monsoon with that shift in the wind direction, that could contribute to a slightly above average hurricane season for us. So now that we went over that, let's talk about our forecast here at home in the meantime. We have a big weekend ahead of us. We have a front stalled to our south. That's going to give us our beautiful day today. We have some lower humidity that's still ushering in, but we'll have these little waves of energy. That's that dashed line you see there, kind of right along this front and bring us rounds of rain and storms Saturday and Sunday. Again, not going to be a washout, out, but we will have the chance for at least a few storms here and there throughout the weekend. And with this pattern setting up, really similar to the last setup we were in, it's pretty tricky to forecast. The models are probably going to change in the exact timing throughout the day, so you'll want to stay tuned to the forecast if you do have plans this weekend as we get some higher resolution data to come in and really pick up on when these little kind of disturbances are going to roll along that front. We'll be able to give you the exact timing a little better for your weekend plans. But I will tell you at least what the trends are saying for now and give you a good idea of what to prepare for your weekend forecast. And then Monday and Tuesday are first alert weather days. Essentially, there'll be a low that develops along that front that'll help kind of pick everything up and carry it away. We'll have a warm front lift north. That's going to increase our moisture content. That's going to increase our coverage of rain, and widely scattered showers and storms are expected Monday. That front will push in Tuesday and bring us our wettest day over the next 7. So now that I told you that, let's put it all together. And I forgot to take the red off of here, so today's not a first alert weather day, but lots of sunshine with temperatures near 80 degrees. It's going to be a gorgeous afternoon. Low humidity, a nice breeze. We'll have wind gusts upwards of 20 miles per hour, so very similar to yesterday. Take a look at the mountains, though. You're only topping out in the low 70s today. Everywhere else, upper 70s to low 80s. Great day for Braves baseball if you're headed to the game tonight. If you're not headed to the game tonight and you want to watch it in the comfort of your home, it's just been a long week and you're ready to relax a little, you can watch it on Peachtree TV. Don't forget our partnership, Braves on Gray. You can watch that game on Peachtree TV. Full details on how to find Peachtree TV on your local channel, you can find those on AtlantaNewsFirst.com. So let's take you through the day today. It does look like we'll stay dry. Might see a few high clouds develop here and there, but overall a dry day, really, really nice. Tomorrow morning, clouds will start to increase in the mountains. Unfortunately, if you do have any plans to go up towards Lake Rabun, Lake Burton, up into Blue Ridge, Ellijay, it is going to be pretty cloudy this whole weekend. We'll see clouds gradually increase across Metro through the day tomorrow as well. I do think we'll see partly to mostly cloudy skies tomorrow. A few showers will be possible in the morning, especially north of the city. And then throughout the day, a few isolated showers, maybe a rumble of thunder will be possible. But the afternoon does look like the driest time of day for us. Going into the evening, we'll have a line of showers and storms develop back out in Alabama, and we'll watch that to kind of march over the Alabama-Georgia line. But what I want you to really notice is, again, north of the city, cloudy skies, on and off showers up in the mountains pretty much the entire day. So while it's not going to be a washout, if you do have plans to head to the mountains or places, again, like Lake Rabun, even like northern Lake Lanier, you do have that better chance to see showers through the day if you're north of the city. Here comes that line of storms after 8 o'clock. That'll push into Metro after sunset. But models have been thinking that we could see storms move into downtown Atlanta as early as 8 o'clock. So as we get closer to sunset tomorrow, if you do have any plans to be grilling out with family tomorrow evening, after 7, 8 o'clock, you're really after 7, I should say, you're just going to want to stay weather aware because it is possible that a line of storms moves in from the west. Models really struggle with these smaller systems. We've talked about them a lot, the mesoscale convective systems, MCSs. That's what we're going to be watching for tomorrow night. Doesn't look like we'll have the dynamics for severe weather along that, but they could still carry some gusty wind and heavy rain. But models have been trending at least after 7 for that line to move through, but they've been kind of wiggling a couple of hours here and there. But if you have any late evening plans tomorrow, you'll definitely want to stay focused on the forecast because there could be some storms rolling through Metro Atlanta tomorrow night. Here's a look at the weekend area-wide. So again, up in the mountains and up into like Clay County, North Carolina, Rabun County, it's going to be cooler and kind of showery and cloudy on Saturday. Not the best lake day for those of you traveling north over the weekend. Maybe a few showers in the morning, drier afternoon with highs near 80 degrees on Saturday in Atlanta and in Athens. The further south you go, the warmer and drier it is. So if you're headed to maybe Lake Oconee or Lake Sinclair over the weekend, looks a lot better with temperatures in the mid to upper 80s south of Atlanta. A lot warmer down there, and even in East Georgia, a little bit warmer. But then notice we will have that chance for isolated storms really statewide on Sunday. But Sunday does look a little better. It looks like we could have some rain in the morning with, again, just isolated pop-up storms in the afternoon. Now, if you're headed over to the coast, looks great on Saturday from Charleston to Tybee, St. Simons, and Savannah, but it does look like scattered storms will develop in the afternoon, especially along the coast on Sunday. So if you have any plans to head to the Atlantic coast, definitely not a washout, but as we have this front kind of stall across the southeast, that will generate the chance for a few scattered storms along the coast on Sunday specifically. Saturday looks great. If you're headed to the Gulf Coast, weather looks great. From Destin to Panama to Seaside, temperatures near 90 degrees. We'll see partly to mostly cloudy skies down there. It'll be great. So if you're headed to the Gulf Coast, you're in good shape this Memorial Day weekend. Now, our chance for rain, as I mentioned, does go up Monday and Tuesday. Essentially, this front that's been stalled to our south will have these little disturbances riding along it to kind of give us an unsettled weekend. That front will start to relift north, and that will create kind of a showery day on Monday. We'll have the chance for a few rumbles of thunder Monday afternoon, and then that front kind of comes through on Tuesday, bringing us the most widespread chance for showers and storms. Good news is severe weather isn't necessarily expected. We could have maybe an isolated severe storm here and there over the weekend, over the Memorial Day weekend. I think if we were to have an isolated severe storm, it would mainly be on Monday afternoon and evening, and then maybe Tuesday afternoon with damaging wind and some small hail. Our tornado threat is pretty much non-existent, it looks like right now. If that changes, we'll let you know, but I just don't think that that's in our cards with this particular weather system. We will pick up anywhere between about 1 inch or 2 inches of rain. I do think up in the mountains, these totals will be a little higher. This is just one particular model, but I do think that you could pick up some higher totals up in the mountains with that potential for on and off showers continuing, especially tomorrow up in the mountains. But we'll continue to pick up some decent rain. We don't need rain. We're not even in a drought remotely. We've had quite an active May, so I don't necessarily need the rain, but it's here. In fact, today's the only dry day over the next 7. Today, gorgeous day, upper 70s to low 80s. Cooler up in the mountains with a nice breeze, just a gorgeous day. Don't forget, you can watch the Braves on Gray if you want. If you're not going to the game tonight, you can watch it on Peachtree TV. First pitch at 7:15. Acuna is also back. Super exciting. Over the weekend, 40% coverage of showers and storms. If you live up in the mountains, unfortunately, I do think you have a pretty good chance at rain starting in the morning, and then those showers could kind of continue on and off throughout the day. So temperatures up in the mountains tomorrow only near 70. Not going to be the nicest lake day tomorrow if you are, or mountain day if you're headed up to the mountains. And then Sunday, a few isolated storms possible in the afternoon, morning showers possible. No washout for the weekend, which is good, but definitely not completely dry. Monday and Tuesday, first alert weather days. Monday, we'll have the chance for some scattered showers and storms in the afternoon. I think the best chance for rain will be in the evening on Monday. As of now, that could change. Tuesday is 70% coverage of showers and storms as the front sweeps through, and then it's going to stall across the southeast again. We're really not going to get a complete clearing of any of our weather systems over the next 7 days, so we'll hold on to a chance for scattered showers and storms all the way into next Thursday, with temperatures generally in the upper 70s to low 80s. Tuesday, though, with that widespread rain, temperatures will hold in the mid-70s. All right, everyone, make sure to stay tuned to the forecast throughout the rest of the day today, especially if you have those weekend plans, because we'll be updating you not only here on Atlanta News First Plus, but in the First Alert Weather app. That'll be a great tool to have this weekend if you have any outdoor plans. It'll alert you if rain or thunder is in your area, and that'll be a great tool, especially if you're spending some time outside this weekend. Make it a wonderful weekend, everyone. Stay safe, and we'll catch you here next time.
Stay up to date on your latest weather from the largest team of meteorologists in the Southeast. Download the First Alert Weather app for hour-by-hour forecasts and join us every weekday at 11:30 a.m. on ANF+. You can also text weather to the number on your screen, and we'll send a link directly to your cell phone.